Welcome to Tech, the channel where we talk about expensive tech you buy for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, only for it to stop working a few months later. I'm just kind of kidding. But today's episode, we are doing a 1 week worth update video, the type of format that we normally do, where we take a look at some phones that we reviewed in previous months with a new update. So, this one here, the HTC U11, I call it one of my favorite phones last year, a very underrated phone in 2017. This phone has the Oreo update, Android 8.0, and I recently got a chance to pop my SIM back in here, and we're checking it out today. 1 week with Oreo on the HTC U11. So Android Oreo didn't really have any big aesthetic changes other than a few things here and there. But for the HTC Sense version of Oreo, there is something HTC included that kind of helps with the user experience. And the first thing that you really notice if you're using HTC Sense is you can swipe up now to bring up your app drawer. And before, you actually have to press the little button on the bottom, and it's starting to get more like a stock Android experience where you can just swipe up to bring up the launcher. But you can swipe up anywhere on your home screen, and it'll bring up the app drawer. And on the opposite end of that spectrum, if you swipe down from anywhere on your home screen, it will bring down the notification shade and the quick settings. So that's actually a really neat thing that will really help up with a bigger screen. I mean, 5.5-inch screen with a pretty big bezels. That's actually a really welcome change. So if you want to swipe up and down, you can easily bring it anywhere, especially with bigger phones with bigger displays nowadays. It's actually really nice to have that. However, if you do use a third-party launcher, or like me, I use the Pixel launcher on my HTC U11, it doesn't work there. It only works with HTC Sense, so that's a little disappointing, but that is a feature that they added on to this update that isn't part of the Oreo experience in general. The second big usability thing that they added onto the HTC U11 with this update is the Edge launcher. So, you know, we have the squeezability aspect of this phone, the Edge Sense, and what they did now is they added what you have on the HTC U11 Plus, which is when you squeeze the phone, you can program it to do that. You squeeze the phone and it brings up this side-scrolling thing, this little wheel, these two wheels basically that you can switch and put whatever quick apps you want to do. And there's a little calendar widget on there too. You can customize it to be whatever you want with the apps. And at first I was kind of scratching my head like this wasn't really too beneficial, but I kind of grew to like it, especially the ability to see your calendar. I don't have to pull up my own calendar or program one of the Edge Sense features to be the calendar. It's actually pretty convenient. And the quick settings, the quick apps that pop up there, you train yourself to use it. And like when I want to open an app now that I use often, I actually kind of use that. So if you're the type who don't really like filtering and putting folders onto your home screen with different apps, this is actually pretty neat. You can just use this to house all your apps, and you just train your usability, train yourself to use it that way, and it's actually really convenient. So props to HTC for bringing one of their newer features on a newer phone onto an older version of the phone. The HTC U11 basically performs the exact same as I remembered it on Android Nougat. It's not much different in Oreo. Performance in terms of gaming, totally the same. Performance with videos, about the same. Apps going through browsing websites one page to another, everything's still really fluid and really nice. It's a great experience all these months later. The big thing that I've noticed a huge difference in is battery life. Battery life has taken a hit, and I don't think it's necessarily because the phone is older and I've used it for quite a long time. I've noticed significant droppage in my usage of this device in terms of battery performance. I was getting this is what I said about the HTC U11's battery life before. The U11 holds a Metacore 3000 mAh battery, but boy, the numbers certainly aren't Metacore here. I'm getting 4 to 4.5 hours a day of heavy use, with her lasting me well into the night. The minimum I've spent with her before she died was 13 hours, minimum. And now I'm getting about maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes of screen on time to about 3 hours max for the same exact usage, same suite of apps on the HTC U11. And I'm barely squeaking out 12 hours a day. I'm not even hitting 12 hours. I don't even, yeah, it's It's a big drop from what I was getting previous. And a lot of you guys out there suggest always wiping your phone when you do a major update, and you know that should be able to help some of it. But the battery deterioration of the HTC U11, I don't necessarily think it is strictly just that. I think Oreo in general, all the phones that I've tested with Oreo seem to, the battery life doesn't perform as well as on Nougat. So it is a curious thing that maybe it is the Android Oreo software that's causing some of the battery to not be optimized as well as Nougat did. It wouldn't surprise me. That's not the first time that something like that has happened. So I am a little disappointed with the battery life here. It really took a hit. So if you're one of those people who don't like factory resetting their phones every single time you update, you might not want to go over this update right now because the battery life is pretty bad. If I were you and you're still sitting on the fence about updating, I'd skip it for now because the Oreo update, like I said, has taken a hit on my battery life, and you're not really missing much on Nougat right now, so maybe hold off a little bit longer. Once again, I'm Alex with New Tech. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys have already updated to Android Nougat on your HTC U11, let me know what your battery life is like and what your experience is like, and I really want to know that actually. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit the bell button below so that you don't miss a single video in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!